Cage Nation TV is brought to you by Lion Country's Rock Station 105.9 Quick Rock. Streaming worldwide at 1059quickrock.com.
Let's go. Welcome to the Cage Nation. Welcome to the Cage Nation. Welcome to the Cage Nation. No one can drop us, no one can stop us. We are the warriors, no one can top us, no one can rock us. We are the warriors, no one can drop us, no one can stop us. We are the warriors, no one can top us, no one can rock us. We are the warriors.
Welcome to another edition of Cage Nation TV. I'm Drew Shannon alongside Albert Cameron and Rob Lynn, photographer extraordinaire.
Thank you.
We're back. What?
And honestly, Rob, I loved having you on those last couple episodes of Cage Nation TV. You really do bring something unique to the mix. And thank you very much.
Drew doesn't think so.
Why? What do you
Drew
mean? I
loves
don't think so. What do you mean?
Because I pick on you a lot.
Yeah. Well,
That's what you have to do. You're one of the guys.
Yeah.
It's like locker room talk, I guess.
Drew, what's coming up?
Well, last week we were talking about UFC 182, and of course the John Bones Jones and Daniel Cormier fight and the outcome of that, and
Burning my eyes.
Yeah, we're all coming down with something. This week, more news about John Bones Jones, and it isn't all that pleasant. We'll get into that in
It's
just
pleasant
a few.
for him.
Well,
He's had a great time with it.
The gram for gram champ.
We'll talk about the repercussions of all of that. The backlash,
The lack thereof.
Yeah. World's most dangerous man, Shamrock, agreeing to a bare knuckle fight in the UK. We're going to talk about how his no holds barred career may have prepared him for that.
Would you fight him right now?
Ken Shamrock?
Yeah,
I get my ass kicked.
He's like 700 years old.
Still, he's the world's most dangerous man. You don't get that title from sitting there playing tiddlywinks.
I'd give it a go. What the hell? What shame do you have to lose? You
We've
lost
got-
to Ken Shamrock.
Well, we've got connections. We can
Good. Call him up.
All right. And we'll take a look at the women's bantamweight rankings as well. All that coming up next on this edition of Cage Nation TV, live from the 105.9 Quick Rock Studios in State College. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Cage Nation TV. Drew, Albert, Rob, let's get into it. John Jones, what a week it's been for him. Winning, of course, retaining his belt at UFC 182 last weekend, and of course this past week, he gets
All hell broke.
all hell breaks loose. He tests positive for cocaine.
We got the timeline of events. This happened from the first hot drug test till current, and that was actually brought to us by Fox Sports. Thank you guys at Fox. We're completely blatantly ripping off your content, but that's what rhinos do.
I think if you source it, it's okay.
Okay, then Fox Sports brought you that timeline. Thank you guys very much, Drew.
We'll give credit where credit is due because that's what we do. That's how we roll. December 4th, 2014, Jones is drug tested. The drug test was not to include recreational drugs. He's tested twice because the test is watery. Somebody explain to me what a watery test is.
I don't know, but I guess when I hear watery, I'm automatically assuming did John Jones.
While he talks, I'm going to try and look it up.
All right.
I'm thinking watery. I'm thinking either one, it was not a substantial enough urine sample, like there was too much water in his urine to not be sufficient urine, or that he's trying to dilute it with water.
I'm thinking dilute with water because
That's what I think when I hear watery.
What was your first explanation?
That there was too much water in his system.
There's too much water in his pee?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of...
Well, no, you think about it.
Okay.
I took a urine test and the result was too watery. What does that mean? I was not hired because my urine test result came back too watery. I am not a drug or alcohol user. What does it mean and why did this happen? And this is on Yahoo Answers if we're gonna cite our sources.
Yeah.
The best answer, this is 5 years ago, so I don't know if it's any good or not. Drug users will consume a lot of water to try and fool the test. It adds so much water to the urine that the drugs become very diluted and do not register on the test. What they were supposed to do was to tell you to retake the test cut back on the water, as some people believe lots of water is healthy. And honestly, it looks to be that's the same result from everybody.
You're consuming too much water, and it looks like you're trying to
Yep.
trying to flush it out.
Here's the next one. Watering down the truth. What to do about dilute urine drug tests? Wow, that's a mouthful. Say that. Well, then here's another one. Essential drug testing information from, probably a stoner magazine. I'm not giving them any credit. We're not gonna say anything about them. I'm not citing them.
You can talk about High Times if you want.
No, it's something
Kind of
like
goes
that.
with the segment, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But that's what it appears to be, is that he consumed too much water. Then you know what this does? That's a blatant attempt to cover up.
That says
what
red
he
flag
did.
to me. I mean, he is.
Yeah,
Uncle Dana, I took a drug test and I drank 50 gallons of water before. It's going to be watery. Oh, it's okay, John. Take the test. We're not going to strip you of your title. We'll cover you.
I mean, playing devil's advocate, it could be he wants to have a lot of hydration in his system, so that whenever he's
Is Coke a diuretic?
no, Coke is not. But I'm saying is like,
I'm going to look it up.
What if water, like, a lot of water intake could be a healthy part. I mean, he is a high caliber athlete.
Right.
We're not going to say martial artist. I think Rob kind of burned that bridge last week. But like, it could be a part of a high fluid intake. I would think if you're getting close to a fight like that, you'd want to cut weight and not have that water weight on you.
Absolutely. Why is my microphone shaking?
Oh, I don't know.
He's probably bouncing the desk around.
Tremors. And,
But the drug test was not supposed to include recreational drugs. Why not?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
I mean, of course, test for PEDs. If he's putting something in his system that is giving him an unfair advantage, absolutely test him for it. But why not recreational drugs? I mean, he is in a contest where someone's quality of life.
You want to go into a cocaine session fully hydrated, first of all.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried to defend it and nothing.
Look at it like this. Professional sports, professional athletes in football, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever, they're drug tested, and I believe recreational drugs are a part of those tests, correct?
Yeah.
Why is UFC exempt?
I don't know. Football
Is it just UFC, or is it all of MMA?
I think boxing
Bellator.
undergoes
Boxing
undergoes this kind of drug test too.
Minus the recreational?
No, I think they do test for recreational. I think they have to.
So is this the Nevada State Athletic Commission strictly saying we're not going to test for, or is it the UFC saying we don't test for?
I think both of them are hand in hand in this.
No, I think this is a UFC thing because that.
I understand, but what I'm saying, the whole situation, the entirety of the thing, out of competition, fails a drug test for something serious. Okay, we know what the public perception of marijuana is right now.
Right.
I take the stance, if it's illegal, it's illegal. That's the standard that you should hold it. The gold standard is the law.
Okay,
if you don't
well, now
like
you've
the
got
law, change the law.
All right, but yeah, you've got two states now saying it's legal. So
Yeah, and I understand
It
that.
says marijuana's legal,
right.
not
but
cocaine.
And
Right.
that's what I'm getting at. They wanted the law changed. They did what they had to change the law. Me personally, I do not do the drug, so I don't care what happens with it. My only hope would be if something would happen, it'd be treated the same as alcohol. If you're caught driving while you're screwed up,
Right.
you should seek. They should seek punishment against you. Okay. That'd be my only stance. But what I'm getting at, those people, they didn't like the law. They were to change the law. The law is Nevada one of the states where it's legal. Okay, so there, and I don't even know why I'm asking that because we're talking about cocaine. But here's what you have going on. In my opinion, I think they make a pile of money when the UFC is in Nevada. A pile of money, like FU money, and you know what I mean by that.
I know
Bookmakers get involved.
Yeah,
pay-per-view buys. There's points. There's spread.
Yeah,
a lot
exactly.
of money. A lot of money is changing hands.
Exactly, and I think to me, I don't know what you want to call this. Powdergate, I guess. I don't know. Blowgate. I don't know.
That sounds like a different part of Nevada.
Well, no. If you think about it, what was going on with the Watergate scandal? Deep Throat.
Oh, okay. I guess it goes.
So I guess it would have to be a pornographic reference. But anyway, you get what I mean.
UFC.
I think it's a cover up.
Is a contact sport.
Yeah.
Football is a collision sport. Wrestling, contact sport. Those three, you cannot have mind-altering substances in your system because someone will get hurt badly. I mean, it's not a fact of yeah, we're going to punch each other in the face for a couple rounds. That's understood. Same thing with boxing. But if you're hopped up and you go on like a Tony Montana rage, like, someone could get hurt unnecessarily. And that's why they test for this stuff. For it not to be included in out-of-competition testing, I don't know why. If your drug test caught drugs, your drug test succeeded. Your drug test did exactly what it's supposed to do, and I think we should do more of it. If you get all that kind of stuff out there.
If Vitor ever did coke and it came up, he'd be tested for the rest of his life for it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think the guy gets drug tested every other week for, performance enhancers.
Chael Sonnen? Wanderlei Silva?
All right, let's go through the rest of the timeline here real quick.
Okay.
On the 18th of December, Jones was retested as a follow-up to a positive cocaine test. On the 23rd, results from the lab come back for the first test.
The first series of tests.
The first series of testing. Negative for PEDs, but positive for cocaine.
Do you think that when he took that drug test, because he knows he did coke, it's not like, I just fell into a mound of coke here.
Right.
It's
like, I tripped.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, wow, the Peruvian flake's good up here. No, he knew what he did. Do you think that any calls were made, like to his manager, to Uncle Dana, and all that? Hey,
How do we know his manager wasn't bringing him the vials of coke?
Still,
We don't.
but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How do we know
Purely
that? There weren't-
we have to say this is purely speculation.
Right.
We're not throwing accusations or anything like that on anyone.
But I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I would have to think that he would have to keep that realm of influence informed that, hey, I have a very significant fight coming up. I'm fairly sure this is going to show up in my system.
fairly short. No, he knew. No, you know what? I bet he's so arrogant to think that,
He could have pissed it out.
as the gram for gram champ, he beats it. Yeah, I pee clean,
Well, it depends whoever he's got in his ear.
Or-
agents, management, people like that. Oh God, he's out doing
Drug
cocaine.
dealers.
We got to.
What about the
try and
urine
get him
buddy?
taken care of?
The urine buddy, one of them, like, you have the bag and you pee out of the hose.
No, somebody else's.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great if he was trying to hide something? This is speculation. I just don't like John Jones. But
This has been a good week for Rob Lynn.
Yeah.
John Jones.
yeah, when I was told about this, I was like, "What? What are you? You're messing with me. It's not April. You can't do that."
All right. On December 30th, just before the year's end, the second test is negative for cocaine. Then we fast forward to January 3rd, UFC 182. As we all know, Jones defeats Cormier. On January 6th, positive drug tests are released to the public, and Jones vows to enter rehab. Your thoughts on that? Is that sarcasm?
Yeah.
Or
It
It's
is.
pandering. Pandering is just ridiculous.
it's-
to
so
me.
you think he's not genuine? You think he's just
No,
pandering
God,
to?
no. Yeah, he's pandering. He's
Lindsay,
absolutely.
how many
pandering.
times has Lindsay Lohan been to rehab?
Oh man, didn't she go downhill?
Yeah.
Oh my lord, she used to be so pretty. And I seen a picture of her. I'm like, that's not her. No way. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that's a side thing. But
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a public figure who, unfortunately, children are going to look up to. He's a family man. He's got children. If he's going to that he needs help, he has my support. If you're going to clean yourself up and become a better human being that is contributing to society, then you have my support and I wish you well. If you're doing it because, hey, you got busted doing something very illegal and you're trying to...
That's what it is. You know it's what it is. You know what he needs to do? He needs to call up Ollie and get some more and just go on a bender and rid me of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That got dark really
I'm
quickly.
sorry. You know what I don't want to hear? I don't want to hear my son come home one day and say, "Daddy, I like Ray Rice," or "Daddy, I like John Jones." Those things I don't want to hear.
Well, on let's see, January 12th, Nevada State Athletic Commission vows to have a meeting to discuss the out-of-competition drug testing policy.
More pandering.
The only thing I want to hear coming out of this meeting is that they're going to do more of what they did with John Jones. That's the only thing I want to hear about.
Hold on. What do you mean more of what they did? They didn't do anything. They
Whenever-
tested him and nothing happened.
The first test, he tested hot
Nothing
cocaine.
happened.
Okay, but the first test he did that they found the cocaine, they're like, oh, it was administrative error. We weren't supposed to be testing for recreational drugs.
Here's the thing.
Why not?
Here's what's going to happen. The only way you're going to see ramifications against John Jones if he is found in a room with a dead boy or a live girl. That's the only way you're going to see Uncle Dana say anything bad about him.
Wow.
No, look at this. Look at this.
They find a couple of dead hookers in his trunk.
No, he'll get away with hookers too. It's going to have to be horrible. He uses those puppies to train. That's what they're going to. No, look.
Okay. Well,
They tested him. He pissed hot for coke. It's that simple. He broke the law. He's a sports figure. He's held to a higher standard. Okay. And you said about this earlier. You go
My
to
test-
Target. You go to Target and you get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. They're going to drug test. You can't get a job almost anywhere
No.
if you test positive for drugs. And here, and I know this is terrible to say this, like, oh, he's held to a higher standard. Guess what? You're a public figure and you are held to a higher standard. This is a little bit different than,
My stepfather worked in road construction all his life, and if he ever got into like some sort of equipment accident,
he would be drug tested.
they would send him home for the rest of the day, and they're like, "You're not coming back to work until you pass the drug test."
Exactly. And you know
and
what?
If he tested hot,
Can you blame them for having that
No.
stance? Because it's the interest of public safety.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with sporting.
exactly. Well, and the thing is, if he would have tested hot, there wouldn't have been, okay, you're not coming back whenever.
Some
you
chick
test
just
clean.
walked outside with a cheese head. I swear. I'm sorry. It caught my attention. It's a big hunk of
Really
cheese.
Get sidetracked with
It's a cheese head.
If he would have tested hot, there would have been no coming back when you're clean. There would have been, okay, well, now you're free to find other opportunities.
right.
Like, the public at large is held to a standard of you don't do drugs and come to work. And it's against the law, so just don't do drugs.
Yeah.
What makes John Jones the exception?
I agree 100%.
And it's not he was accused of doing coke. He's done coke. It's in his system. The evidence is there. John Jones has done coke.
And this is what needs to happen, in my mind. This is how I feel that this should play out, that it's not pandering, okay? Because someone do an audit of the checkbooks of, like, the operations account or Uncle Dana's account or everyone in here.
The petty cash account.
Look where the money has gone. Oh, you can always find answers when you follow the money.
Yep.
Someone do that, and look at the phone calls. Look, I wonder. I would pay. Well, I have paid, UFC pay-per-view price, but pay UFC pay-per-view price to just be a fly on the wall and hear the phone conversations when they rolled up to do that drug test on him. After they left, hey, or he went, whatever. But think about this.
One of the VP of operations for Zuffa is a former Nevada State Athletic Commission officer.
What's that tell you?
Keith Kaiser.
What does that tell you?
Keith Kaiser would know all the ins and outs of all this stuff.
Yeah, and all the ways to, hey,
Yeah.
Slide something.
I'm not
into this
saying he does,
You-
but
you
I'm
don't-
saying if anyone knew, someone who knows would be on UFC.
Come on. Nevada has been a hotbed for sports gambling and impropriety and corruption for how long?
Well, they don't call it Sin City for nothing.
Exactly. If this went down in Pennsylvania, things would have went a lot differently.
John
He would've
Jones would have been served.
Yeah, and for those of you wondering, okay, I'm sure most of the people that watch are 7 viewers and my parole officer. You guys all know who Greg Serb is, but Greg Serb is the executive director of the Athletic Commission for the state of Pennsylvania, and we have one of the best athletic commissions.
Yes, we do.
In the country, and we're not saying that because we're Pennsylvanians. We're saying that because it's legit. And
Dana White himself has said that.
Exactly. Well, now I have to wonder. Thank you.
Yeah.
But when we say he got served, we're taking his name, turning it into a verb, and what it means is when you violate the rules, Greg
There are
Serb
consequences.
shuts things down. For example, the UFC event that happened in Pittsburgh when
Philadelphia.
Nate, it was Pittsburgh,
Was it
that,
Pittsburgh?
that happened with Nate Marquardt.
Okay, yeah, it was
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Okay. Now, with that said, I think any action right now that's being taken is pandering. It's all pandering.
It's lip service.
But how would I feel about this? I don't know. Maybe I'll let you finish the rest of this here,
Okay.
and then we'll do that in the follow up because I do have some strong thoughts.
Well, obviously it's been made public this week that the UFC and Reebok have both shown their support for Jones, and no disciplinary action is going to be taken.
Yeah, but Anthony
Nothing.
Rumble Johnson gets accused of something, and he's suspended indefinitely while the investigation goes on. And I'm not diminishing the effects of domestic violence. It's
Right.
horrible. It's
Yeah.
tragic. It's
Look at
tragic
the
to
Ray. Look at the
victims.
Ray Rice scandal. Okay, Ray Rice is now without a team. He's a free agent. Nobody, he.
The Diaz brothers.
He knocked her out. I
Yeah.
saw the video.
I mean, who is the guy that hit his kid with the switch?
Oh, I know who you mean. Oh,
We've got domestic violence going on, and of course, there's been drug violations throughout sports, and they've been suspended or they have been their positions with the company have been terminated. Why is it that this is the exception to the rule? Why is it that
money,
and
dinero, greenbacks.
It's been
Dead
dollars.
presidents.
It's been dollars
Yep.
from the get go.
so as long as they say, hey, we're gonna, or as long as he says, hey, I'm going to rehab, get cleaned up, we're gonna sweep this under the rug, and it's gonna be all fine.
If this were Nate Marquardt or Donald Cerrone, well, maybe Donald.
No,
Cerrone.
Cerrone'd probably get away with it.
Okay, but I'm saying if it was Nate Marquardt or like Alex Karalexis,
Jason Thatcher.
Jason Thacker, they would be like, okay, well, pack your stuff and go. There's some of this,
yeah.
but because John Jones is a name that makes money, like
And he does. He is a draw because I watched to see him get his ass kicked.
It's been about dollar bills the entire time. The Diaz brothers like to smoke pot, apparently.
Yeah.
You know, and what they get out of it? Tens of thousands of dollars in fine. I think Nate got almost a year's suspension.
Yeah, and think about what Nick got, because Nick did it, and he had a marijuana card.
Yeah.
He had a medical marijuana card. He
That's
didn't
right.
even break laws. He had a card. You know, whether he needs it or not, I don't know. I can't speculate. I'm not a doctor.
Tens of thousands of dollars in fine. Year suspension.
The chick that had the dandelion in her as a diuretic, she got a 6-month suspension. The one that has the hyphenated name. I can't stand that.
She's just a hippie, and she gets a 6-month suspension. John Jones is
Now, because she does organic, supplements and stuff like that, does not necessarily make her a hippie. It just makes her extremely health conscious.
well,
Does it?
I don't know. Well, apparently not, because now she's suspended.
right. Right.
Does the positive drug test taint the win over Cormier?
Absolutely.
I don't even think that should be a question.
Si, senor.
When you think about what the athletic commission is there for, is to make sure that the competition is as level as possible.
Right.
That the Vaseline applied to the face is not too much. That the fight apparel they're wearing does not create an advantage. That there are no
That the money sliding into the back pockets is enough.
That there are no undue advantages. That's what the commission is there for.
Mm-hmm.
With John Jones testing hot for coke, and with everything that's gone into UFC showing support, because what the UFC is doing is same thing whenever they sponsor a fighter. They're handpicking guys. John Jones is a UFC sponsored fighter. UFC has said, "Hey, we got your back. Don't you worry." Now it's not a level playing field to me anymore. There might be some internal
Don't forget
stuff that I
this. Don't forget about the false positive test, the epi test ratio
Right.
that gives the implication that he's juicing.
Well, we talked offline about there are visual cues to you saying that he might have been blood doping.
Well, I wouldn't say blood doping. I would say visual cues to me that he's going through. I don't know. I don't want to accuse anything of it, because I know that there's some people that are just shredded out there and look phenomenal, and they are legit, genuine, natural athletes.
Right.
And John Jones, as much as I disdain that guy, oh man, he needs to go play in traffic. But as much as I disdain him, as much disdain as I have for him, I'll say it correctly, is that he is a gifted athlete. He is.
You don't even get your shot to the top unless you are.
And I don't want to think that, Powdergate, wouldn't that be something?
Should Jones be stripped of the title?
Yeah. I really think he should be. Whenever you're a champion, you are saying that I am the best, most honorable competitor in this division, and he clearly has proven that he's not. We don't know. I'm not saying that if Daniel Cormier would have won that fight if John Jones hadn't tested positive for cocaine, but now I just don't know. There are too many what ifs.
The only way that Cormier was beating him was if he got lucky, shot for a takedown in the first few minutes and dumped him right on his head. There's no way that DC was winning that night, or if he got a lucky punch and knocked him out. And we know that Jones has a solid chin.
But what I'm saying is, to be satisfied with that answer, I'm not, because there's too many what ifs for me.
It can't be. No. You really think that he had a chance of winning?
I don't think he had a chance at all. What I'm saying is, there's that opportunity. Plausible deniability is no longer there for me.
Okay, I see what you're saying. My opinion, this is what needs to happen. Okay, I don't like the way they're handling this situation. I think that it's all pandering. Oh, we're behind him. We're going to support him. He's not going to have any punishment whatsoever. We're going to get behind him. Hell, we'll probably even pay for his rehab. All right. And this rehab, I bet this rehab. Do you really think that John Jones, the gram for gram champion of the world, is going to the freaking rehab center, checking himself in, being away from any obligations he has outside for like the next 12 weeks? No, it's not happening. You know what his rehab's going to be? Probably an AA meeting at the old VFW or something like that. Okay, here's what needed to happen.
Celebrity rehab.
Again, this is pure speculation.
In my mind, okay, yeah, exactly. And I would hope that anyone understands we're an opinion piece, just giving an opinion. So my opinion is, for this to have not been pandering, Uncle Dana should have said, you know what, John, you screwed up. You screwed up before, and I'm really getting tired of covering things up for you, and I'm getting tired of sweeping them under the rug. You're stripped of your title. You're done. You're on suspension indefinitely from the UFC, not from competing, from the UFC. The athletic commission can do whatever they're going to do, but in my mind, the athletic commission in that state is just corrupt.
They look like they're in the UFC's back pocket with all the.
Not even that. Okay, not even the speculation on that. Just they're incompetent at times. Look at some of the judging decisions that have happened, and that's a long-term stayover. I mean, and I would like to think that what would it be now? 20 some years. They've had time to adjust to these boxing. Oh, we're using old boxing judges. Come on,
Cecil Peoples.
Yeah.
Guys, we have 2.5 minutes. This?
This
Let me finish your thought.
Okay, this needed to be done on Jones' own accord.
Right.
After he's stripped, after he's suspended, you know what? He needs to check himself in the rehab, not say a damn word to anybody about it.
Right, you don't make it public.
Yeah, what happened to John Jones? Oh, he voluntarily went to rehab. He's looking to try and clean his act up. Or maybe what he needs to do is just embrace that he's a piece of shit and just, fail drug tests all the time and wreck cars and
That's where I'd be satisfied.
Yeah.
Be if he were stripped of his title, because I don't think he's deserved to keep it.
If the actions weren't pandering,
Right.
That's what I think.
If it were sincere, there's no sincerity in my mind.
This is all, hey, look, NFL-esque style things.
Right.
And I don't like that. Just if he doesn't strike me as a sincere person, and I'm sorry, I don't pay to watch this person. I pay to watch him fight, but what you do in your life affects your performance, and when you're held to a higher standard because you are a top tier athlete and you are in the public eye, there should be some accountability, and that's what I got for it.
All right, is this a black eye for the UFC's promotion? We've got just under a minute.
Yes.
Because
it looks like they've been covering stuff up. I can't trust Dana White now. I always thought Dana White was someone that you always know where you stood with him because he had no problem MFing anybody in the press.
What gets you to trust Dana White now?
Jones is no longer light heavyweight champion. He's stripped.
Alexander Gustafsson fights for the vacant title.
That there is there's a repercussion for it, that there is a consequence. That's where I would trust him again.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for that topic this week. If you look at, and I saw it online, I think Dan Bogan posted on my Facebook, and thanks Dan over at Gladiators of the Cage. It's an episode of the Heyman Hustle.
Yeah.
With Paul Heyman and Mike Tyson. This was from how many years ago? Was it 2012?
Yeah.
So pretty much 3 years ago. And they called this more or less as happening, and the things that John Jones needs to get done, because he had problems before.
Mike Tyson would know better than anybody.
Will he come back from this a better person?
I only do want to add you said what gets us to trust Dana again. To me, what Dana is doing, you understand, like, there's this generalization. All used car salesmen are liars. Fight promoters are like used car salesmen, and we know many great fight promoters. And I don't want to say that. Yeah, and I don't want to say that Dana is a used car salesman, but he really is looking a lot like Don King right now,
like a snake oil salesman.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't want his vitriol, at all. But thank you. That's all I got on it.
All right, that's going to wrap that segment up. We're getting into our next segment here in just a few. We're going to take a time out, and then we'll get back to the world's most dangerous man doing a bare knuckle fight in the UK. This man is excited. This man wants to fight him, and me, I just want.
I need to make money.
I just want to see it all happen. That's coming up next on Cage Nation TV. Stick around.
Would you pay to watch me fight him?
Thought Opera Records. Independent music. From our amps to your ears.
Drew Shannon, Albert Cameron, the second most dangerous man, apparently. Rob Lynn, the world's most dangerous man, going to be doing a bare knuckle boxing event in the UK. Shamrock 28-15 and 2 in MMA, super fight champion of the UFC, and former king of Pancrase. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Pancrase sucks.
I gotta tell you,
that's like being King POOP of Turd Mountain. Sorry, I almost slipped up. Don't want to affect our rating.
We've already said shit, I think, once or twice in this
King
episode.
shit of Turd Mountain.
I hear this, and the first thought that comes to my mind is why? What is there left to prove? Ken Shamrock had a fantastic career. He will be my hands down favorite fighter until the day I die. Because he brought me to the dance. He brought me into mixed martial arts and being interested in it. And we talked to Ken. He's a great guy. He's done so much in his fight career. I mean, first guy to be an effective challenge to Royce Gracie in UFC 1 because no one knew submission outside of Ken. Pat Smith didn't.
Apparently, Ken didn't really know submissions either.
Well, he wasn't used to the gi. is what it was. Ken went to sit back for a heel hook, and Hoist had his arm trapped in the gi. And then, friction being what it is, Ken brought that on himself. But I mean, Ken was the first guy to ever be on a live. He was the first live main eventer on television when he fought Rich Franklin at the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter 1 finale. He was the first main eventer, first UFC Super Fight champion, which was effectively the first UFC title holder in history. First king of Pancrase, and Pancrase isn't that much older than the UFC. I think maybe a couple. I love Japanese MMA, but
that's like getting that out of a Happy Meal. You know, Pancrase sucks.
Well, his opponent for the bout is going to be James Quinn McDonough, touted as the king of the travelers. He's made his name in fighting in alleys, fields, pretty much anywhere that isn't a sanctioned boxing ring.
I want to tell you a story from my matchmaking days of an email that we got. And you hear the dumbest things in the world.
Was it from a man named Gonzalez by any chance?
No, I know. I would have loved to have seen him.
Okay.
Hashtag what?
Free Gonzalez.
Yeah. I was going to say I am Gonzalez, or we are Gonzalez. Yeah.
We are Gonzalez.
But like, is that the whole I'm undefeated in street fights and I don't get knocked out because I don't bleed easy. You know, are you licensed? I have a driver's license. Yeah. Is that what this guy is?
Did that really happen to you?
How'd you get here? Hard work. No, did you get here from a bus, a truck?
Hard work.
I jogged. You can jog your ass out of here.
Apparently, a traveler in bare knuckle boxing, European bare knuckle boxing means someone who'll fight anywhere.
He's a journeyman.
Yeah.
So is that like the pikey in Snatch, bare knuckle boxer guy, and they just go, and have Bricktop the bookies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen Snatch?
Is that a loaded question?
The movie Snatch with Benicio del Toro, Brad Pitt.
I have not. I do want to see it.
I will lend it to you.
Lend it.
We're gonna remedy this
it's probably on
situation.
Netflix, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'll double check.
I don't have cool web services like that.
Someone
need to be brought into the 21st century, my friend.
My wife has Netflix.
Here's the
watch
kicker
Gilmore
about this whole
Girls.
thing.
Season finale, or the series finale sucked.
Moving on.
Here's the thing about McDonough, or about this whole ordeal. The fight's illegal.
Yeah, say bare knuckle
watch it.
boxing in the form described is illegal. Why does Ken Shamrock need to do this?
Because it's cool.
Just so he could shut this guy up?
No, it's not even a beef. Like someone who represents the bare knuckle the promoters camp is saying that Ken is trying to bring legitimacy and make the sport grow. From what? The gas station parking lot to the Walmart parking lot? Where else is this for?
That is a bit of a step up.
It's okay. We talked about it all throughout the John Jones segment. It's illegal. The law of the land says don't do it, so you don't do it.
I mean, seriously, bare knuckle boxing, I could see that on a Saturday night, 2 a.m, out in front of one of the storefronts down here at, on College Avenue.
Okay,
a bunch of drunk kids just,
Exactly.
I know that.
I'd go to the Monroeville Mall and see that shit.
Exactly.
I'm all about the athletic commission. I'm all about things taking place in sanctioned environments. I'm all about legitimacy being brought to MMA.
Yes.
And this should be the antithesis for everything that I stand for. But I'm sorry, if there's a way to watch that, I'm watching it.
This should be the what?
The antithesis. Like, this is like the
antithesis?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think, you know what? We have been round and round over the enunciation of some words before, and I was right and you were wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember this taking place at the Jaffa Mosque. You and Albert were fighting over something, and I was right. Yeah, it'll come to me because I have an almost identical memory.
Antithesis.
Yeah.
How's Uncle Thesis?
Well, I don't know. Pretty good. If we're going to pick on my shortcomings, we can continue this.
Let's just move on.
Okay, thank you.
Ken doesn't need this.
No, he doesn't.
Ken has nothing to prove by beating.
Yeah, he does.
What does he have to prove?
What does he have to prove?
Honestly, this is some Rocky.
Get on! Come on!
This is some Rocky 5 garbage to me.
No, it's better than Rocky 5.
Well, anything's better than Rocky 5.
Yeah, that's true.
This being one of the
An old guy's bout with constipation was better than Rocky 5.
And this being one of the things.
No, but okay.
You're not going to watch it.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Because James McDonough says, like, hey, if we can't get it sanctioned, there's always some field in Ireland we can duke it out in.
So you can't really get something sanctioned that is, I don't know, illegal.
It's not going to get sanctioned. Someone's going to get there with a handy cam. Like how our show's recorded. They're going to be doing that in some field in Dublin.
Well, it's illegal in the UK, but that's not to say that it's not illegal in Ireland. Because that's where McDonough's from.
Yeah.
So it might be illegal in Britain, but...
I don't know. What's going on in Ireland right now? Anything? Is the IRA still a thing over there?
I think so.
Maybe.
I haven't watched the news and seen anything terrible lately.
I know there's some bad crap going down in France.
Yeah, and that's
But we're not talking about that. I don't know what's going on in Ireland. Can you just beat the hell out of someone in Ireland?
Apparently, you might be able to.
Maybe on a nightly basis. I don't know. After a couple of pints,
let's go.
Okay, but my whole thought on this thing is Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man. He's done enough for this for combat sports. He's done enough.
How long do you think it takes before he shoots for a takedown?
Well, that's the thing, that like a takedown's illegal. Like it's all like
who cares?
And
someone's a fight.
Someone did actually try to promote bare knuckle boxing in the United States, and all they did was they had boxing gloves that had the knuckles cut out. That's all it was.
What about shock fights?
What are shock fights?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
They have the tasers on their hand.
Is this legitimate?
It's not sanctioned.
It's not sanctioned, but has this actually happened?
Some mouth breathers have put like tasers on their hands and they go in and or
like
tag team MMA.
We're talking about
tag team MMA. Yeah.
Or what about the 2-on-2 MMA? There was the video clip. The one guy, his partner gets just like blasted, and it's like, oh man,
was that the one from Japan?
I don't know where it was. It's him against the two dudes, and he just flatlines both of them.
What about the 5-on-5 MMA that's happening out in Poland?
Oh my God, what is wrong with people? I would not take those odds.
And here's the thing though, like there's like you, me, Rob, Cass, and Pat. We're gonna go out and fight 5 guys from another MMA organization.
Hold on.
We are?
No. I was okay with Pat and I on a team, but once we added you guys, we're not carrying the dead weight of the team.
I'm
no.
saying, okay,
well,
what I'm saying is 5 bodies against, and we're fighting a new team of 5 other guys. Once Rob knocks his guy out,
I ain't knocking anybody out.
once Rob submits his
Maybe
guy,
Drew.
he's able to like 2-on-1 another guy. So like Rob beats his guy, he has to leave the ring. Rob's coming over with you and helping beat up your guy.
Yeah.
And then once you two beat up your guy, like
It just got better for Drew.
it's gang warfare.
There are a couple news people I would like to deck, but I don't know of any offhand. Like, you watch the news long enough and it comes up.
I can think of an MMA journalist or two you'd probably take a swing at.
So
not even that guy.
So the long and the short of it is, dude,
What is the point?
Why is this even happening?
Exactly.
You know why? Because it gets us to sit here and talk about it.
I can't.
And we're sitting here talking about it. We're publicizing it right now.
How old's Ken right now? 2 years or 2 days older than Dirt? You know what I mean? The guy has to be farting dust by now.
He's in it. What is he in his 50s?
I think so. Okay, but that's the thing. Like,
This is a cry at legitimacy. This is what this is. He's a guy. He just doesn't want to go out. He's a fighter. He's always been a fighter, for better, for worse. Maybe he wants more brain damage because, I'll beat you into a living death.
but I think Ken has so much experience.
He said that.
He did.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Tito laughed. But I think Ken has so much still to offer the sport in the way of tutelage, of commentary, of consultation. Ken doesn't need to do this.
Can he do commentary?
I think so, yeah. If Frank can, then Ken can.
Nah, Frank has more brain cells left than Ken.
Ken knows so much about the sport. Like if Ken Shamrock came to Complete Devastation, I would share a commentary booth with Ken.
So are you debating him about Ken Shamrock?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna lose.
No, the facts are on my side. Ken's half brain dead. Listen to him
he's
talk.
not half brain dead.
Okay. He's gonna go do an illegal bare knuckle boxing match with a guy who does bare knuckle boxing. Ken's in his 50s.
I'm saying
He was on a slide. When's the last time he won anything?
Ken does not need to do this.
I agree with you there,
Okay.
but I just think he has brain damage, and that's why he's doing it. He's crying for legitimacy, and maybe he wants more.
Well, this
brain
isn't the
cells.
way to. This isn't the way to go about it.
Yeah, he should call Bellator, see if he can fight Tito.
You probably could.
Lose again.
Then throw him on TNA.
But honestly, I think TNA might not be a bad
Didn't
spot for him.
Shamrock do pro wrestling for a while?
He actually
Shamrock
and he was
in-
very well.
Shamrock was in WWE for quite some time.
Yeah, and he did pretty well, I
We
would
all
say.
forget about this. Ken Shamrock did professional wrestling before he did mixed martial arts.
As well as Dan Severn. Dan the Beast Severn.
And Pancrase. He did some Pancrase.
Pancrase was actually
Pancrase is like damn Tybo to me. You know? It's just a joke. I'm sorry.
I like old school Pancrase.
No, you
I don't
don't.
like new school Pancrase.
You've said offline that it is a joke.
No, I said new school Pancrase is a joke. I would rather watch the WFA.
Mm-hmm.
Where Fight Club means nightclub. This whole segment is just turning into like the worst we've ever seen in mixed martial arts.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting for the moderator to go, you're out of time. I'll piss on everything you own.
Well, you do have 3.5 left. So we want to wrap this up, or we got anything more to talk about? Or
What do you think, Drew? What do you think about this?
I think it's a mistake. I think it's stupid. I think it's
he's gonna
idiotic.
get
I don't know
hurt.
why the hell he needs to do this.
Are you going to watch it?
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
I think he's gonna get. I think he's
Because
gonna
I
get
don't
hurt.
think I don't think there's going to be any outlet for you to watch this on. 'Cause
Oh,
nobody's
yeah.
going to sanction this. Nobody's
You're
going
gonna watch it on like Bum Fights Volume 13.
That's okay. Whatever platform I have to see it on, I'm going to watch this.
Well, tell us how it is.
And I saw this guy. I saw his
You
opponent.
know he's going to watch because
Yes,
he
I
apparently
won't-
has a man crush on Shamrock.
I won't plunk down a single penny.
Oh, you're not going to have to. It's going to be free. It's going to be like that abortion of a fight that Tank Abbott was in. Do you remember that?
With Caroz?
They're in that backyard. They're like, yeah, I love this. Yeah, MMA sucks. And they're just in there beating on each other, bleeding and sweating.
And both of those guys were in the UFC.
Yeah.
Scott
No,
Ferozzo. It was
Yeah.
Tank Abbott and Scott Ferozzo.
was he in the UFC?
Yes.
When?
He,
Learned
it up.
No.
Scott Ferozzo was in the UFC.
The burden of proof is on you to prove it to me.
Scott. Okay, well, when we're offline, I'll look it up. But Scott Ferozzo was in the UFC.
Then again, so was Sean Salmon. So I believe you.
Sean Salmon was in the UFC.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, Rashad starched him
Rashad ruined him because he was a standout up until that point.
up until that point.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then like they started throwing out some racist comments. Rashad's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fry me up some salmon," and Sean Salmon's like, "I'm gonna melt me some chocolate." Can't say that. That's terrible. And then Rashad starched him with a head kick.
It's funny that you're saying starched about a white guy.
And on that note,
And Keith Hackney was in the UFC, who has the record for taking the most grunt shots from a rapist.
Oh yeah, he's in jail right now, isn't he?
Joe Son, yeah.
Yeah, he's in like jail big time.
He's in, like,
You know about that, right?
I believe I do.
Yeah, Joe Son, he it was a gang rape he was involved in,
And
it went on for like I think 20 years. He was out of out of everything. Nothing happened to this, and he did movies too. He was in the Austin Power movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Son was in those. So he went and he had like a mildly successful movie career.
Right.
And now he's in a federal pound you in the ass penitentiary. you know? Well, that's what he, and you know what? Good for him. He deserves to be there. And how did he get away with it for 20 some years?
well, the last one that got him caught was really heinous, I think.
They all were. All of it's very, very horrible.
Yeah. But
some-
I'm saying it was exceptionally heinous.
I guess if we're using, I don't know what the litmus test for that is, but I just think you should just drag him out and beat on him.
When this show actually goes to radio or television or whatever, expect this to be considerably watered down from the product you're watching now. So enjoy this while it lasts. Okay?
This episode brought to you by Litter Maid.
So, okay. In conclusion, Ken doesn't need to do this. We have no idea what format we're going to be able
I
to watch
agree
this
with
fight
you,
on.
but I'm going to watch it. This goes against everything I believe in.
It's
But
same
you're
thing
going to
with-
watch it.
It's the same thing with Real Heroes. I hated Real Heroes. I hated it. I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was a step backwards, and it was garbage.
Yeah.
Okay.
This does not further the sport of mixed martial arts
Not
at all,
one bit.
Absolutely not.
or his
I
career.
don't think it has anything to do with Miss Martial Arts, to be perfectly honest.
I agree with you 100%.
All right, coming up in our final segment, we're going to be talking about the list. It has been released of bantamweight women's rankings. We'll see if our panel of experts here agrees with the list, where they would put.
Where are they
said- I have no idea. They're going to be showing up any minute.
Okay, I was going to say.
Am I being fired?
I think I just fired myself.
Stick around. It's all coming up next on Cage Nation TV.
Cage Nation TV is brought to you by Lion Country's Rock Station 105.9 Quick Rock. Streaming worldwide at 1059quickrock.com.
Welcome back to the final segment of Cage Nation TV for this week. Drew, Albert, Rob, the list, Wombat Sports has released a list of their bantamweight top 10 in the women's rankings. Let's see if you guys agree, and if not, where are you going to place them? Number 1, top of the list, Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
I can't disagree with that one. Until someone can come and take her title away, there's no argument in my mind.
I'm in 100% agreement with you there. I don't like the way she carries herself. You know, she acts like a Diaz, and I think the Diaz attitude's more attractive on a Diaz. But she backs it up.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's flatlining everybody. She's the king of that division until otherwise proven. And you can't even talk about Cyborg in that, because Cyborg, she's an idiot. She doesn't belong in the discussion because she doesn't fight at that weight. So
until she either drops down to bantamweight or Rousey goes up to featherweight. There's no
if
point
Rousey goes to featherweight, then this list doesn't apply.
Correct.
And Cyborg's not on this list.
Obviously, I'm not even seeing her on this.
Yeah,
list.
exactly.
We'll get spoiler alert.
She fights
Yeah.
featherweight.
Yeah. And
She fights featherweight. That's
Right.
why.
And the only reason I bring that up is because some people go, well, until she fights Cyborg, she's not legit. I'm sorry. Ronda fights 135. You know, she's a champion of that division. Cyborg needs to come to her if she wants to fight her.
Right.
All right, number 2 on the list, Alpha Cat Zingano.
I'm struggling with this one.
I thought you were going to say you felt it was good. I
No.
disagree that she should be the number 2 seed.
I think Misha Tate should be.
Yeah. Even though the champion has starched
What I'm wondering,
Misha Tate.
Yeah.
should I mention the entire list and then you guys put them in order?
Yeah,
How
you can
do
Go
feel
for
this
it.
is?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Why don't I do that? All right. Number 3 is Misha Cupcake Tate. Number 4, Sarah Kaufman. Number 5, Alexis Davis. Number 6, Sarah McMahon. Number 7, our good friend Jessica Evil Eye. Number 8, Laura Murphy. Number 9, Liz Carmouche. And wrapping up number 10, Tanya Evinger. Go ahead and put those in the order which you guys.
Okay, I got Rousey at number 1.
Okay.
I got Tate at number 2. Zingano at 3. I can't say that I disagree with Sarah Kaufman being at number 4.
Okay.
What do you think, Rob?
I'm waiting for you to finish yours so we can argue over it.
Okay, I got Kaufman at 4. I actually have Liz Carmouche at 5.
Reason being?
I think she's just been an active competitor, and her fight with Rousey was absolutely intense. I think not that one fight buys her a spot in the top 5, but I think just the way she's presented herself and the way she's fought, I think she is top 5 and not at number 9. I got Jessica I actually at 6. And if you have a question why, well, she will tear your ear off.
Well, yeah.
So I got I at 6. 7 would be Davis. 8 would be McMahon. 9 would be Lauren Murphy. And then 10 would be Tanya Evander.
Let me see your implement, sir.
Okay.
I did not come to class with my own today.
You came unprepared. Rob,
And to answer your question,
we'll let Rob go ahead and work on his list while you...
Tanya Evander is a fighter from the dark days of women's MMA whenever women were just taking fights wherever they could because no one really wanted to promote them.
Right.
Same thing with Debbie Purcell. Debbie Purcell was just taking fights wherever she could. She fought in Hook and Shoot, King of the Cage, a couple smaller promotions wherever they could get a fight. I'm not sure what Wombat's criteria is, but having Liz Carmouche that far down the list it's just appalling. What do you got, Rob?
Okay. Number 1, because there's no denying it,
Right.
Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
Number 2 for me is Misha Tate, even though the champion has beaten her handedly.
Yeah.
I don't know if Misha can beat her. I don't know. I don't know how many times Misha challenges for the title. I don't know if she always holds the number 2 spot.
They're at 2 fights, and Misha's lost both of them.
Oh no, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
What happens here? My number 3 is Sarah McMahon.
Okay.
My number 4 is Kat Zingano. My number 5 is Sarah Kaufman. My number 6 is Liz Carmouche. And number 7 through 10, and they all occupy this spot to me. Like, it's not 7, 8, 9, 10. It's just 7 through 10 being Alexis Davis, Jessica I, Lauren Murphy, and Tanya Evinger. And if I had to pick the top of that list, I would probably say Jessica, then Alexis. And Alexis is 10 to me. And, you know, she got flatlined in 16 seconds. You know, That's
Yeah.
to me, the other. Does this show that the breadth and the depth of the division isn't as deep as it should be?
Possibly.
Does it show that the best in the division is just that far ahead?
I don't think this. I mean, like while most of the ladies on this list are UFC fighters, Tanya Evinger is not.
Correct.
So it should be including Invicta FC bantamweights.
Exactly.
But because UFC just went and rated Invicta FC, all the ranking Invicta fighters outside of Evinger are now
in the UFC.
Exactly.
But do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Here, Ronda, we don't even need to discuss why she's there. She's leaps and bounds ahead of everyone. And to me, she has outclassed and schooled every single person that she's fought.
Yep.
This list,
there's no doubt to that.
and not even disagreeing with your list, disagreeing with their list. How in the world do they put Sarah McMahon below Alexis Davis?
I don't know.
Alexis Davis made it 16 seconds. 16 seconds. I could probably make it 16 seconds with the champ. You know, not like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, competition.
That's what we've heard.
I'm so glad that camera is running.
No, I mean competition-wise.
Right.
You
As
know,
a judoka.
even as a judo player, I think I could stand on my feet for 16 seconds before she took me out. But then again, I'm probably 30 pounds heavier than her too. You know. Well, no, she cuts weight.
Yeah,
so,
she cuts.
You know what? Maybe I better shut the hell up and just keep. I should just keep the fight in Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, you just want to kick everybody's ass today.
No, I think I could in a judo match. I think I could take Ken Shamrock, guaranteed. I'd throw him in the next week.
When we talked to Ken Shamrock on that interview.
I like the guy. I don't want you to think
Yeah,
I
he
don't
said he
like
wanted to
him.
kick your ass.
Good, set it up.
We a couple years ago we talked to Ken Shamrock on KHJ TV, and that was one of the coolest things I've ever done. And I asked him, I was like, "Well, have you ever considered like grappling tournaments, like to keep yourself sharp?" And he said, "Well, the reason I do MMA is because striking is such a part of my game that I would feel like I was being handicapped if I took it away."
Wow. You see, and I know that Ken, big, strong dude.
Yeah.
And like physically very impressive looking.
Right.
And when I pickle him, say, "Oh, I'd want to fight him and
Right,
watch
right.
or watch a freak show." I recognize everything that he's done for MMA, and I really like Ken. And to me, his boxing match is silly. He's going to give himself needless head trauma that he doesn't need. He's done enough. But anyway, I never thought of him as mainly a striker. I thought of him as always a submission guy.
I thought his acumen was a submission guy. And I'm not sure, does judo competitions have anything against knee reaping? Like
when you say knee reaping, what do you mean?
If you were to
Show me on Drew.
If you were to employ a leg lock that forced the knee to go inwards as opposed to going outwards.
You are not allowed to leg lock in judo.
Okay. No, I know in
traditional judo, old school leg locks existed.
Okay.
But they are not a competition item. Like
Okay.
there's a temiwaza striking techniques in judo, but they are also not taught or in competition.
In I think I want to say like high level Brazilian jiu-jitsu, like grappling tournaments, knee reaping is allowed, which Ken's best weapons are his leg locks. So his ankle locks and his heel hooks, which are technically knee reaping. But I think if we took a 1996 Ken and put him in the middle of a high level grappling competition, I think he would have done incredibly well.
Oh yeah, he had the physical acumen, he had the ability with leg locks, just turning things the way they don't need to go. And when you have that physicality mixed with it, it's pretty good. But back to the topic at hand, where Wombat? How is Alexis Davis higher than Sarah McMahon?
These guys are clearly.
What the hell has Alexis Davis done? I get she's a BJJ black belt, and I get that she's very, very talented, but she did not have a better showing against the champion than Sarah.
Liz Carmouche had Ronda Rousey in danger with that neck.
Yes, hell yeah, she did, and she had her top in danger too. Did you see that? and if you listen to Ronda after the fight, I wasn't worried about my neck. I was worried about my bra coming off.
Wouldn't have been worried about the neck, but
yeah,
Liz took Ronda's back. She was in danger. Alexis Davis did not have Ronda Rousey in that kind of thing.
Exactly. And, Carmouche, in my mind, is definitely ahead of Alexis Davis. Definitely ahead of her.
All right. Well, we want to hear your opinion out there. If you want to show us what you think your top 10 would be out of these 10, hit us up on Facebook. Of course, the email address,
You'll probably agree with me and not Albert.
CageNationTV@gmail.com.
All right. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And subscribe to us on YouTube. I don't know what the hell you do on Facebook. Do you like somebody? And
You like Facebook.
you like Facebook, you follow Twitter.
I'm not looking forward to the next social media platform coming out because I am too old to keep up with it.
Tinder. Snapchat.
Albert, you can't have Tinder. Your wife won't allow it.
I thought about getting a Tinder account with my wife, and we just mess with people. Oh, man, that'd be better than playing Scrabble.
So if you're on Tinder, look for Rob Lynn and his wife to be screwing with their heads very, very soon. Cage Nation TV won't be here, but we'll be here on YouTube. Again, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. That's going to do it for another episode of Cage Nation TV. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
And a very big thank you to our sponsors, 1059 Quick Rock. The station is actually streaming online right now.
Oh, I wanted
at
to say
1059QWIKRock.com.
And on a side note, to all of our listeners out there,
the camera's black.
why'd the camera go black?
Because the battery's dead.
Oh, so is
Okay,
that
well,
it?
I guess the audio just
So we
goes
done?
with it.
Yep, the guy who just goes with it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll see.